Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we're looking at Love is Like After the Rain, episode 10. By the way, first and foremost, guys and girls, I'm sorry. I really swore to God that this series would only have 10 episodes, and I don't know why I was thinking that. I could have swore when I first saw it on Mal it said only 10 episodes. I do apologize. Apparently it's going to go to 12, so please forgive me for that. You know, I don't want people to think the show is over yet, because it still has a few more episodes left to go. Which is good because this week's episode, was a really solid episode. But it'd be like if this was a cliffhanger or if it was an ending, I'd be like so pissed off. But I will say that, I love how Love is Like After the Rain kind of does multiple things with this show. Besides being a romance show, there's also a lot of slice of life elements, obviously. And one thing that's really cool is also how they incorporate this kind of emphasis on teaching you life lessons in many ways, where we learn more about Kondo once again this week's episode, and we see that he had a really affinity for writing. We already knew that he was a writer in many ways, but he never, I guess, published anything, or maybe he never became very popular. And the thing was that his writing kind of caused a rift in his family. So when he got married, he had a kid, obviously, but he continued writing and writing and writing, never letting go of that kind of dream. And it pushed the people he loved away from him, which obviously led to his divorce. So, I think that's why he put down the pen after that, because he finally realized that him doing that was causing more damage than good. And it's such a sad statement because, as a writer myself, I understand the kind of nights of just spending hours and hours, getting soaked and just writing nonstop. You're just sitting there at a computer or you're sitting at a desk and just typing away or writing whatever you can. And sometimes, you get to the point that, you forget, like, oh my God, how many hours passed by the time you finally stop doing that? I get that. I understand Kondo's thing. But, it's also the scary element of what writers sometimes do, is because writers do tend to be known for kind of pushing other people away, especially when, they get really into it. Because we get in this kind of focus of, you zero in on whatever you're writing, and everything around you kind of stops, and just there's nothing around you anymore. It's just you, keyboard, pen, paper, whatever, and that's it. And your words are flying. You're creating the world that you're writing. And by the way, I hope I don't get like too metaphysical with this. Like, I don't mean to actually start talking about this in super depth, but I kind of want to explain to people that maybe don't understand Kondo or his writing emphasis, because there are, not everyone's a writer, obviously, but for the people that are writers, it's something that you kind of understand. And for people who aren't, maybe this will help you understand why Kondo's, I think, biggest struggle is to find that balance between still reading and still loving literature, but equally, realizing that the world around him has to take precedent, because he didn't, like his friend, he didn't become a successful writer. He ended up working at a restaurant, which, listen, that's if that's what he wants to do, if that's what he's happy doing, there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is that he sacrificed his dream because he realized his dream was hurting other people, and in many ways himself, because he was getting lost in it. You see how he was like, his wife would bring him drinks and he wouldn't even really notice it. Like, he wouldn't notice at one point. He would just not even pay attention. And that's sad. That really is. So it's like the writer's dilemma of where a lot of writers always have to balance between, family life and also making sure that their works are getting sold, etc. But, this came after this. By the way, all this came after the date. The date was kind of nice. It was not really a date of, like, lovers. It was a date of friends. And I thought that was cool because, when they met the old man, she was like right away, I'm his friend. I'm his friend. And she was completely okay with saying that. And I think she wants obviously more than just to be friend, but, understands that to keep Kondo close to her heart right now, they have to keep it at a friendship level. And that's, hey, listen, that's real life sometimes. You might like someone, but also at the same time, you need to keep them as a friend. At least until both sides are okay with going beyond that. And, that's hard sometimes. That's definitely a catch-22, because you can see Kondo likes, Tachibana, but equally, it's not the same way, I think, as Tachibana likes Kondo. There is some love, there's some spark there, but will it ignite by the end of the series? I'm not so sure about that. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe they probably only stay as friends. And then we also get a brief thing with the fact that Tachibana doesn't want to go rehab. She wants to just continue running, or not running, continue doing what she's doing. And it's like, I think it's because she's so, like, disheartened from getting that injury in the first place and kind of the troubles. It's almost like, if you think about it, Kondo's thing. So I'm almost thinking that maybe the possible ending of the series could be that she goes back to rehab, starts running again, and, kind of tries to continue further dream. And then Kondo does the same thing, which I seeing as a possibility. I'm not saying that will happen, but I can see that being a possibility for an ending. And I'd be okay with that. You know, I don't know if this is going to end in a romantic way. And I'm okay with kind of understanding that it probably won't. But I really would love if it did. You know, because I love these two. You know, I didn't really initially, you guys know that I was like, this is taboo. These two are like way too far apart in age. But at the same time, they're like adorable together. Not even like I know the old man says it's like a father and daughter, but I'm like, no, they just look like a couple many times. You know, Kondo doesn't look like he's super old. He does look older, but still, it's like, we'll see what happens. I also, by the way, really fast, I did love that story with the shortest letter, but written by Hugo, where he wrote the question mark, and then they responded to him as publisher with an exclamation mark, telling him like, oh, your stuff's all doing very well, his works and stuff. I was like, oh, that's. And then they did the same thing with Tachibana and Kondo. They sent the messages back and forth. I thought that was cute. What did you guys think about this week's episode, though? I'm not the only one gushing for this. Please let me know in the comments below. Feel free to gush away, because it's a show that you can do that with. I will talk to you guys later. Violet Evergarden will probably be out at an hour. I haven't watched it yet, so I do plan on watching it, and I'll get the review out to you when I can. I'll see you guys later. God bless you all. Have a great night. If I don't see you in my next review, bye-bye, everyone.